Hey guys, it's Cole Bullock from BB Outdoors, and today we're going to be talking about how to catch fall bass. The main two questions that we're going to be answering are where are they and how to catch them. Let's get to it. So when looking for a fall bass, there's a couple things you need to know. It's going to be forage, season, and water temp. Bass' main forage is bait fish during this time. Bait fish are going to be moving shallow, staying with that a little bit warmer water. Some examples of that are going to be bluegill and shad, although crawdads and frogs will be readily available, depending on what body of water you're at. The season, bass are going to be put on weight, getting prepared for winter, getting those fat stores, getting ready to be relatively inactive during winter, being deep out there. The water temp during the fall, it's going to be fallen, no pun intended. The water temp is going to be fallen, and bass are always going to try and stay between that 65 75 degree range. That means they're going to be moving shallower. In conclusion, they're going to be moving shallow, they're going to be aggressive, chasing bait, getting ready for winter, and they're not going to be too picky. When trying to catch fall bass, there's three things that you need to remember. Number one is going to be use big baits. Number two, imitate bait fish. Number three, don't be afraid to use aggressive baits. These aren't in any particular order. Bass are going to be hungry, and they're trying to fatten up for winter, trying to get those fat stores like we talked about earlier. They're going to be real aggressive, real hungry. If you can get a bait in front of them, they're bound to eat it. Bait fish are moving shallow. That's going to be the main source of forage. They're going to be eating a lot of that. So imitating bait fish is going to be a great choice for what to use when trying to catch them. Whenever they're this aggressive and this hungry, using an aggressive bait is not a bad idea. Anything that you put in front of them that might make them a little bit mad and chase after something won't be a bad choice. They're another good choice to get them to eat. To help give y'all an idea of what's going to be good, I'm going to show you what's in my tackle box and what I'll be using this fall. Number one, got the big soft plastic swim bait, bootleg paddle tail swim bait. This is a trout recreation, comparison to how big it is, about the length of a hand. That'll be good. Bait fish imitator, I have a little bit smaller version of that, basically the same thing. Anything kind of like that will be good to use around the fall, sorry. Another great choice is going to be hard bait swim bait. Make sure you have good treble hooks on there, and make sure that it swims correctly, and that'll be a great choice. Another one is just going to be your realistic looking crankbait. Pretty shallow. You don't want it to be a deep one or anything. Those are going to be my top three choices right there. My tier 2 choices, always going to be the frog. I'm very confident in that one. If you can use it, it's good. It's a great thing to do. Whenever they're moving shallow, be aggressive. Top water, not a bad choice. Can go anywhere. Number 2 is going to be a spinner. This spinner has a paddle tail in the back, makes it look a little bit bigger. Pretty big, willow leaves, a lot of vibration in the water, pretty aggressive. And then we got the jig, which is going to be a good all-around big bass catching machine in general. During this time, just big baits is going to be good. If you're on some rocks or sand maybe, that'll be a good choice. Those are my tier 2 choices. And then my number 3 choices is going to be chatterbait. I like white in that. White works good. it resembles any sort of bait fish. We got top water, one that works well. You can walk the dog with it good. Aggressive bass. Then we have a lipless crankbait. I recommend getting this natural color, although the only one I have is red, so I'm showing you all this one. Make sure it sinks. It's always a good thing with these. Ripping it through the grass is there, moving it more shallow on the banks, probably around 10 feet. Anywhere less will be fine. Those would be my top choices. There's no specific structure that bass will target during this time. They're just gonna be looking for shade if the water's hot, trying to find cool water. It's kind of that general sort of thing. Trying to stay out of the sun, lily pads, grass, you know, whatever structure or different points they can find, whatever it be. So that will be something that you will have to figure out. Another thing I just want to reiterate is that whatever can get to these bass the best is the lure I would choose. So if you've been throwing chatterbait all day and they've been destroying it, and then you come up on a down tree and you know you can't get that chatterbait in there, skip something like a jig in there. Don't be afraid to mix it up, because they'll be so aggressive right now that anything you throw in front of them, they should eat. Just make sure whatever you're using, you can get to the bass. That's the number one thing. And then one last thing I want to talk about is time of day and how that affects where these bass will be. If you're in the morning, that water's gonna be a little bit cooler. They might be shallow in the morning. I recommend something noisy, topwater frog in the morning, topwater walking dog bait, maybe a rabbit trap, or a chatterbait. Something noisy where once it's dark and that water's cool and they're shallow, they don't necessarily have to have a view of it to eat it. In the morning, during the day it's gonna be a little bit hotter. They're gonna be a little bit deeper. Again, a lot of the bait fish imitators will be good around this time. Hard swim bait, we good. During the sunset and dawn time, water's gonna be cooling down a little bit more again. Pretty much the same thing as midday, except maybe just a little bit deeper. The final thing I'm going to talk about is just trying to, if you are using bait fish imitators, do try and find where the bait fish are. If you see them schooling up, popping in the water, you see some action off the top, do try and find those. That's always a great sign. The next thing I'm going to talk about is murky water. If that water is murky and those bass, and it is sunny, those bass will stay shallow sometimes, so that's just something to be aware of. Again, you just gotta find them in your body of water, and once you develop that pattern, just stick to it. Alright, thanks for watching the video. This has been How to Catch Fall Bass with BB Outdoors. If you want to see more content like this, we're on Instagram under BB Outdoors, TikTok, Facebook, all that sort of stuff. Really appreciate y'all watching. Thank you.